Don't know the power.
The math is unfootable.
Fusion reaction.
Oh, hell yeah.
Get to the chopper!
Press go up.
Gigantic fusion reactor that just worked.
Multiple income streams and real yield.
Ooh, yeah!
Cheats can no longer dump on your heads. The revolutionary decentralized finance protocol. Fusion reaction in T-minus 3, 2, 1.
Fusion! You don't know the power.
The math is unfootable.
Fusion reaction.
Oh, hell yeah.
The mothership.
And what's it gonna do?
Everybody excited.
Oh, hell yeah.
Give my creation! Fusion.
Get ready to rumble.
Fusion.
Gotta do a huge shout out to Cool Sheet. That song just hits.
What's up, everybody? And welcome to the official weekly live stream here for EMP Fusion. I'm AJ, the team lead, and I'm joined by my co-host with the most and fellow team member, LA. LA, how are you?
Hey, I'm good. Hey, everyone. Good to see you all here.
Awesome. So, yeah, another busy week. We got markets at all-time highs. We'll talk about that. Some updates on Fusion, what we're building, and a lot of other great stuff, revenue streams as well. So before we get to that, though, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. That really helps the algorithm. It helps us get the word out. And we're almost over 3,000 subs again. So please make sure you help us get over that hurdle and help us get the word out, because we have a lot of big things coming as the market is really heating up. So we can start there. You know, we hit almost barely over an all-time high, depending on what exchange you're looking at, for Ethereum this week. So yesterday was massive. With that, I think the top out number was about 4,878, which is just incredible. And we've seen a nice, healthy correction since then. So again, I mean, we've said this all along, you know, the trend is up and to the right into the end of the year. But opportunities like this, where we do get a pullback on both ETH and Bitcoin, really gives a great entry as well. So I'm still fully convinced. I know, you know, we see a 5% drop and crypto Twitter loses their mind and says it's all over. This is it. The top is here. But there's just too many financial, too much financial momentum going into the end of the year. Even if rate cuts are priced in, I think that we still see some dramatic movements. And remember, I mean, cycle after cycle, we usually do about a 2 to 3x above all-time highs with a true top out. So I still think we're in amazing shape. Everything is holding well. Utilize these dips as a way to further DCA. Again, not financial advice. And we ride the wave up until I think maybe even Q1 or even Q2 of next year. So the end of this year, I think, will be a great time to reevaluate. But I do think we may even see an extended cycle now that institutions are here. But LA, what do you think? It's been great to see the numbers going up, right?
It's insane. I didn't even catch it when it's hit like the highest it has in the last 24 hours. I saw it at the highest around like 46 something, but even that just had me like jumping for joy. It's amazing. We're so close to getting over that all-time high mark and looking really good. Even when it's pulled back a little bit to right now, like it's still so good. So
Yeah, no doubt. The dip got eaten really hard, especially with ETH. And eventually we haven't even seen alts really move. That again is great news for EMP specifically and other smaller cap gems. And so yeah, everything is going according to plan. So and all the while bonds are still killing it. We'll talk about that in a bit too. Even with the pullback in price, APR is holding up. Another great entry in terms of dollar value on the dip to mint more bonds. We'll talk again about that in a minute. But yeah, all in all, looking really, really good and excited for the next few months for sure. So, all right, LA, what are we gonna jump into first? I think you wanted me to go over Fusion a little more.
yeah. So we've been getting some emails and Discord tickets and just general chatter from a lot of people who are coming back after months, if not years, of not being around. Maybe they had old detonator positions, and we've been referring a lot of them to the Fusion educational series or even these AMAs. So I thought it would be great to just take the next 3 or 4 minutes and do just like a basic rundown, the easiest explanation possible on Fusion and how it works. Because the common question I've gotten over the last few days is, hey, I haven't been around for a while. I have SAC points in Fusion from the legacy contracts. What the hell do I do with them?
Yeah, no doubt, 100%. All right, let me get my screen set up here. One moment. All right, here we go. Hang on one sec. All right. All right, finally. Sorry about that. All right, so here we go. Let me pull up Fusion, and we will go through it.
Awesome.
All right, so yeah, this is the future of EMP. So EMP is now officially EMP Fusion, and if you are new or you've been following and just need an update, we're undergoing the legacy migration as we speak. So this will be going for the next 50 days or so. We gave a 2-month window for everybody to move over, and so if you're just brand new, or if you already have a position. And you are eligible for credit, you will see a new window, a box just like this, only instead of being purple and saying EMP Fusion Infinite Passive Income Loop, it'll say Legacy Migration, and it will be blue. And then there will be a blue button here on the right-hand side with the amount of SAC points that you will get. So sacrifice points are essentially the way of unit of accounting for ownership inside of Fusion. And eventually, when EMP is at PEG, 1 SAC point would be equal to $1. And so, again, don't get too caught up on the actual dollar value. That's just the way that we show fair market value when we are at PEG. But the real, thing to focus on is the ownership percentage. So as you can see, this is one of the Treasury wallets, but doesn't have much in it. 0.03%. An OG word of wisdom is, with any project that you're bullish on and have conviction in, a number to shoot for is about 1% ownership, whether that's Fusion or any other token supply out there. But that being said, obviously, I know that could be a lot of money for some people, but that's a great goal to have, and the ownership percentage will determine your share of the APR, once APR starts ramping up. And, right now, again, stack points are slightly inflationary, but really they're not, because the only reason they're inflationary or appear to be inflationary is because of the PEG bonus and because of the migration that we're doing. But all the migration stack points, there is EMP that backs that up. So we still have a bunch of EMP in the Treasury that will eventually be burned once this migration is over, and that will account for the stack points. And then stack points actually become deflationary because we will be buying stack points off the marketplace. So if you do have credit, you can join us for the ride and leave your stack points in earning, or if you don't want to be involved in EMP, nobody is handcuffed. Everybody is free to do as they please. And so if you'd like to sell your sacrifice points, you will need to go to Marketplace. Oh, hang on. All right, so this is the Marketplace. You will need to buy M Energy. So, excuse me. M Energy is the way that you get batteries and are able to sell your microgrid. So I suggest the minimum is about 17 M Energy, and that's a 1-to-1 ratio as well. So you can use BNB, ETH, or USDT. It's about $17 worth. Once you have that, you will go down here and you will buy the split my position battery. So this battery again is 15 M Energy, which is about $15. But I think literally everybody that got the migration has at least $20 worth of stack points. So even though you have to buy it, it's still a net positive for you. And this M Energy again is what fuels rewards in Fusion. All the money spent on M Energy goes to all of you that are in Fusion. So you'll buy that battery. Once you buy the battery, you go back to dashboard, and it will show up right here. So this right here will not be there. If you don't have a battery, if you do have a battery, split my position battery, it'll show up. You click that, and here you go. You can sell one stack point or all your stack points, and you determine the price in eSHARE. The floor has been about 0.001. There were some great deals over the week. I know we bought a bunch as the Treasury over this last week, and I know a lot of OGs also were sweeping the floor. So things have been moving really quickly on the marketplace. There's definitely liquidity there for the right price. And so again, it does cost 1 M Energy to list. That's why I said you need a little bit more than 15. So yeah, and then you just hit split. It'll show up right here, and then you will see it in the marketplace. So we'll go back to the marketplace, and it's a little bit hidden. We're trying to update the UI to make it more obvious, but right here it says microgrids. And here you go. Here's all the microgrids for sale. And if you're all the way to the bottom, yeah, so look, the floor price has even come up a little bit, almost 0.002 per eShare. So again, you can buy one, or these are also divisible. So you can buy one stack point or the entire lot at 50,000. So yeah, that's the high level overview. LA, does that help?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you can go back to the main page, I just want to kind of give a really simple synopsis of what you just went over. So if you have stack points, you have literally 3 options of what you can do with them. So the first one is right there on that main page, the buyback and earn. So if you don't buy any batteries, this is what's going to happen. So what will happen is your rewards will accumulate right there. And then whenever you're ready to compound those rewards, you will click the activate button. It does not happen automatically, but anytime you want to compound those rewards back in to build your Fusion position, you'll hit that activate button, and you'll even get a PEG bonus. So it'll be more than what is written on that under your rewards. And then you're going to build up your total position under the SAC points and how much percentage that you own and what your microgrid is worth. The second option is to purchase a cash out battery. So in order to purchase a cash out battery, you're going to need some eSHARE to purchase some M energy. And then you will need that M energy not only to purchase the battery, but every time that you activate a new battery, claim from your battery, it costs a 1 M energy fee. And so there's 3 options for cash out batteries. You've got your BNB, your ETH, and your USDT. You can buy all of them. You can buy one of them. But whichever ones you have activated, whether all 3, whether 1, whether 2, you can allocate different percentages to collect within those batteries. And all the rewards that you earn will collect inside those batteries and then can be claimed for whatever token that battery is. So if you have 100% allocated to the ETH battery, when you go to cash out, you will collect ETH. And you can cash out as soon as you hit over $15 in accumulated rewards. Your third option, for what to do with your SAC points, AJ was just going over, you will have to buy a split my position battery, and that will allow you to sell part or all of your microgrid, which means selling those SAC points. You will have to designate a price and the amount of SAC points that you'd like to sell, and then your microgrid will be listed in the marketplace. You don't have to sell all of your microgrid. You can sell a portion of it, but that is another option for what to do with your SAC points. So you have all 3 of those options. And then also, if you want to dive deeper and learn all the ins and outs of how Fusion works, remember that we have a Fusion educational playlist right here on this YouTube channel. And they are small, bite-sized, 1 to 3 minute videos that you can learn how the entire protocol works.
Amazing. Yes, great overview, LA. And one thing too, I just want to mention, I know you got some questions about this, and this is the PEG Profit Cash Out Battery. So this at the moment is on pause, but this will be a great way to convert some of your SAC points into actual ETH in a way that is beneficial to the ecosystem. So again, we're not at a point right now to do that, but as we get closer to PEG and we get to PEG and we start ramping up APR again, this will be a great way to responsibly take profit without hurting the ecosystem. So that is also in the works as well, but you don't need this one right now because it's not active. But yeah, I think that was a great overview, and I was showing as well while you were talking, LA, but if you go to the dashboard and you have your batteries, again, you can activate these and actually adjust the percentage of ETH and BNB that you get. Now, obviously, you know, they're going to fill up twice as slow because you're converting into 2 different assets, but it's a great way to, again, take profit and do so in blue chip assets. So again, and you know, obviously APR is down right now, but that is the plan. Just to refresh that as well, we have a 3-step process. Right now, all the economic energy from the Treasury and our revenue streams is going to support PEG. So we're, you know, whether we have new buyers or not, we're always buying and sacrificing EMP. Once we get to PEG and are able to maintain PEG, then the economic energy starts going into APR so that we have a higher APR and it makes it more attractive to get in. Then sacrifices are even more incentivized. And then finally, the third phase is there is no more EMP in existence because everybody has sacrificed it into Fusion. And then we move to a complete staking model where the only way to get into Fusion is to buy a microgrid from somebody else. And when that happens, you know, that's when you really do realize your microgrid value a lot closer to what's displayed, because that would be the fair market value as well. So, all right, awesome. That was great. I think that was a really good, quick synopsis. So, all right, what is up next?
All right, so let's chat about EMP and PEG. I can kind of start this one off if you want to take over afterwards. I just kind of wanted to remind everyone that the rise to PEG will not be a linear one. That's something you've heard me say for the last few weeks on our AMAs. Obviously, we have had a bit of pullback on, our rise to PEG, but our growing success does attract swing traders, and that's what we've been experiencing a little bit. There's also people who have been waiting to sell on the way up, and we want that. But we are heading in the right direction as we weed out the people who don't plan to stick around, and as we continue to work together as a community to reach our goals every week. And so watching swing traders pull back is not a sign for you to pull back. They're going to do all kinds of things that literally don't make any sense to us, but it is psychologically a mindfuck to look at the PEG in the 50s one day and the 30s the next. I get that, but what we have to realize is that these swing traders have a lot of money and a lot of pull to kind of manipulate PEG, and they're not people who are going to sacrifice into Fusion. And so we have to expect a bit of that on the way up, but that is not a sign of us not going in the right direction, because we still are. But we do have to stay strong as a community and keep building towards our goals and our vision, because I've noticed a huge difference in the community sacrifices towards our 50K per week EMP goal this week. It slowed down a lot, and that's because some of those swing traders got out and PEG went down. And I think people are thinking we're going in the wrong direction, but that's actually not the case at all. So I just wanted to mention that, because this is the time for us to ramp up as a community, not to pull back, especially with the market on fire right now.
Yeah, I agree 100%, LA. So let me add a few more points to that. Number one, yeah, I mean, obviously we've seen a pullback. We had pretty much a parabolic rise to PEG a few weeks ago. And as we know, that's usually, it's amazing for morale and momentum. And, we were hoping that it would continue, but things just can't go up and to the right forever. And that's something that we talked about a lot. There has to be a cooling off period. And honestly, even now, we're still making higher lows. And that is really important. I mean, even if we pull back quite a bit, which we have, as long as we're making higher lows, that is really bullish and shows that the floor is ever rising. And to LA's point, yeah, I mean, there's always going to be swing traders. Usually they are one and done, meaning, they're not able to just continually rinse and repeat. Once they sell, they're out. And we've even seen that with some of the whales. We had, I think, 2 or 3 whales. I don't know if Grover, I think Grover's in the chat. He might be able to give a little more info, but we saw at least 2 or 3 whales that have had a substantial amount of EMP exit. And like Ella said, that is bullish, because we'd much rather have people exit, when we're below PEG than when we're at PEG for the health of the ecosystem. And if they're not patient enough to wait until we're at PEG and we can implement the PEG stability bot, then that's on them. So it is what it is. I'm never concerned. Again, we've said all along that EMP is a long-term vision, and just mathematically speaking, again, I'm a numbers guy. Math doesn't lie. Even if you don't believe anything that comes out of my mouth on these AMAs, math doesn't lie. And so, because of the way we have Fusion set up with sacrificing, it is inevitable that all the EMP enters into Fusion, even without any new buyers. So again, the Treasury can just buy and sacrifice EMP until there is no more EMP. So that alone is really promising for the sustainability and the economic model overall. And it's working. I mean, we've seen it work. The other thing to note too is when we see ETH go on an absolute run like this, I mean, ETH is up almost like 80% over the last 3 months. obviously that is also going to impact PEG. So if we're not able to keep up with that, and there's more selling than buying when ETH goes parabolic, then that also reduces PEG and makes it look a lot worse than it is in terms of PEG value. So that's another thing to keep in mind as we go up as well. But overall, it looks good. The EMP ETH chart is a little bit more scary than the EMP USD chart. Looks really good. I mean, like I said, we're looking really promising. So it is a long game. Every day, again, we have some great tools on Fusion Watch. What you need to buy every day to keep up with others that are sacrificing. Even just $5 or $10 a day, a week. All of that really helps. And one last thing, the PEG bonus is getting bigger now. So remember, that is an intentional design, is that when the PEG goes down, you have a bigger sacrifice bonus on sacrifices. So it is a way to incentivize you to sack more when the price is down. So, or when the ratio is down. So again, those are all silver linings as well. But yeah, I think that was, again, a great overview. LA, anything else?
No, that's it for that. Just wanted to definitely mention that.
All right, awesome. All right, now we're gonna jump over to bonds.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's pull this up. Looking really good here. All right, here we go. So these are Treasury bonds. We're looking in great shape. We are now over 3 million in total TVL. So you can see we're about 2.4 here, and then Bernard bonds. Yeah, over 600K. So looking really good for the two biggest white labels. We have a few other white labels that are doing all right. Probably another 200K between them all. One thing I did want to bring up, which I think we're going to get into later, LA, or is it later about Elephant or no?
Anytime you want, really.
All right, so it's appropriate now. So yeah, as you know, that we had a partnership and still have a partnership with Elephant. EMP.Money was a protocol. Again, BT and I go way back. Love him or hate him, and I would say this is the BT space. He is very difficult to work with sometimes, and has a way of his own on what he wants to see. So ultimately, we did a white label service for Elephant bonds. And that was a way to automate the flywheel on autopilot. But the more that BT experimented with our vaults, the more that he really got it. And, honestly, we would hope that every project owner would understand the way, BT has, and some of you that are utilizing vaults, because doing it on your own is also very powerful. And so, even though we've kind of retired the white label portion of Elephant bonds, we have had major success in the vault. So let me pull this up just to show you guys. So he didn't leave. The herd is still here, but we have moved to self-custodied vaults within DeFi. So if I go here, oh, hang on. Oh no, hang on. Sorry, TVO. All right, so other than GDEX, again, with about 500K in it, you can see right here, number 2 is Flux Capital. So this is now essentially the Elephant bonds, and anybody can get in. The APR is quite a bit higher because, again, there's a lot more, what I would say, mid to low cap tokens, not a lot of Bitcoin or ETH. And that's just the risk adjusted returns. But I want to show this number. So 172K in the vault. So, the Elephant bonds alone barely had 50. So this has been a much bigger win, and we still are benefiting because, it's more TVL in the actual vaults. So again, I know there's a lot of confusion. Some people were upset, that he decided to, do a little bit of an audible. But as long as we have the TVL in the vaults, we're still winning. And it's been really good to see BT embrace the technology that we have. And I mean, again, the only reason that we did bonds was because it's the easy button. But if any of you are able to learn how to do this, or any project owners that want to utilize the vaults on their own, it's incredibly powerful. And I think honestly, that will help us scale even more into the future as well. So I just wanted to address that. No hard feelings. It's still a partnership. We're still winning together, and we'll see if it works. But the flywheel is definitely there to have some economic energy into Elephant for sure. So, all right.
Love it. I love your transparency and that you're always willing to give a full explanation for everything.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, I mean, no hard feelings. I would tell BT, obviously, those that do know BT, he's a very interesting character. So, he wanted to do it on his own, and that's fine. It's just still benefiting us. So, all right, awesome.
Well, I wanted to mention a really exciting milestone that I can't believe you didn't even mention yet.
Yeah, I think I know what it is, but go ahead. I'll let you have the honors.
We hit over $3 million so far in total minted bonds between our main bond page that AJ has up right now and Bernard Bonds. So this is pretty freaking exciting.
Yeah, no doubt, LA. So I mentioned it real quickly, but yeah, I didn't give it the highlight it needed.
I didn't
So yeah,
either.
there you go. Then we definitely need to go over it again. So yeah, 3 million is killer. I mean, like we said from the beginning, when we get to 10 million TVL, we can have pretty much all the recovery funds paid within like 45 days. So looking really good. We're on track. All of you are minting. APR has been holding up great. APR was like 100% all last week. It's down a little bit, today and over the next few days probably, because that was another thing I want to mention. APR is actually a week in the rear. So, as we deploy capital, the APR that we earn every day is deposited every Wednesday, but it's really from the previous week that was built up. So, again, this will fluctuate a lot, but on average, we've still been hitting our target. We've said between 60 and 120% APR, and we've definitely been up there. I mean, at one point last week, we were at like almost 120 APR. So, like again, don't be too focused on this. If you do the math on your own, you'll see that that it's usually even better than what's displayed. Especially depending on when you entered bond. So dollar value is still up. ETH value's been slipping a little bit, but that is only because we have a lot of exposure to alts. So again, half the LP is usually ETH, but the other half is the tokens that produce the yield. And again, you can see all the exposure on the DBank page. But now that ETH has started to come down a little bit and chill, that means that we should start performing better against ETH, with Banker and KTA and Aerodrome. Aerodrome's been killing it. So all these other tokens that we're providing LP for, when they start going up against Ethereum, then that's when the bond value in ETH will also go up. So again, it's all relative, and it is somewhat the price of doing business. So if you want to prioritize getting yield every day and maybe losing a little bit of ETH value, usually as long as you're in long enough, you come out way ahead on the yield as opposed to any sort of erosion on ETH. And if you're still worried about all that, then I would suggest just taking some of your bond profits and buying Ethereum or buying Bitcoin just to stack And the other reason that the APR is down a little bit is we just had over $50,000 deposited. So again, remember when somebody deposits a large amount and buys more bonds, that does temporarily affect the APR. So over this next year, even with a potential bear market, I think we easily hit the numbers that are displayed for sure on average. So, all right, awesome. Any other? Oh, and one more thing. So, another milestone between our Treasury bonds and Bernard bonds, we have now paid out over $250,000. So that's pretty amazing. You can see the total distribution, going out on the right here. So yeah, really healthy.
Love
All right,
it.
yeah.
Do
Anything?
you mind pulling up that bonds fusion graphic?
Yes, absolutely. So bear with me here.
And while he does that, I just wanted to remind you that bonds will be just one major revenue stream for Fusion. Right now, the 30% is going towards the compensation fund, but once that's paid back, a great deal of that will be used to fuel Fusion rewards. And so it pays right now to not only stack up on bonds, but use a portion of your bond rewards every week to sacrifice into Fusion, to scoop up microgrids, all of those things that are going to build up both positions for you so that you can be earning in the short term, medium term, and long term.
Yeah, absolutely, LA. And we're going to talk about revenue streams in a minute here. But yeah, this is a great graphic. You can find this in all of our socials. And this is really, again, we have our tongue-in-cheek infinite money loop that we're famous for. But this is really the easy button when it comes to not only bonds, but getting involved in the ecosystem as a whole. So again, not financial advice, but the recommended strategy is, to buy bonds, use 40% of your earnings to buy more bonds, again, compounding. This is a real financial tool. So it's not an ROI game. It's not, something that has any inflation to it. So compounding is very healthy, especially if you just want to get your daily yield up. So 40% compound, 25% of bond earnings to buy and sacrifice EMP off the market, another 25% to buy cheap microgrids, again, sweeping the floor, and then 10% of your profit can go right into, paying your bills or buying, again, ETH or Bitcoin, or just stacking stables if you think we're going to have another dip. That gives you some dry powder to get in on those dips. So this is really an incredible system, and it's the backbone of the flywheel. Again, we keep talking about a flywheel. A flywheel just is essentially an economic engine that fuels the ecosystem, in the most efficient way possible. So all that will help, again, EMP recover PEG. It helps you build your position. It's a win-win-win for everybody. So, all right, awesome. So yeah, do you want to jump into revenue streams, LA?
Absolutely. Yeah.
All right,
So
I'll have you go over it, and then I'll elaborate as we go. But go ahead. Yeah.
yeah, so there's many revenue streams to Fusion. And I've heard a lot of people saying, "Oh, well, should I just only stock up on bonds instead of sacrificing into Fusion?" Well, what AJ just went over is so much wiser. Obviously, this is not financial advice, but just remember that bonds are one of the revenue streams for Fusion, and in the future, when that compensation fund is paid back, which we're doing an incredibly quick job towards so far, that will fuel Fusion rewards. On top of that, when the eShare prices go up, it really helps APR. And as we work together to boost eShare, we earn more in Fusion. And we have a lot of plans in the works to support and keep building the eShare prices, which we'll go over more in the future. But just keep that in mind that as eShare prices rise, the emissions portion of of Fusion rewards also rises. Honor versus Madness. We're about to do a huge premiere for Honor versus Madness tonight, but there's also so many exciting milestones ahead, like the card pack sale, the playable alpha by the end of the year. There's so much on the way, and HvM is a huge revenue stream for Fusion. 10% of revenue will be shared to Fusion for Fusion rewards. This game has the potential to be massive. We have a lot of support both on the Web 2 and the Web 3 side of things, and we're getting a lot of support from the chain, from the game studio, all of it. And so we are even working on some really revved up marketing plans right now, which we're going to go over a little bit on the HvM AMA. But just keep in mind that that has the potential to be huge, and it is a large revenue share towards Fusion rewards. We have DEX swap. I know there was some chatter in the VIP about the potential of the future of DEX swap and how much those fees can be feeding Fusion rewards from the bridge, the trades, all of that. We have bonds, which I've already gone over. We also have private investments made by the Treasury a long time ago, VC stuff that will, fuel rewards as well. So AJ, what do you want to add to all of that?
Yeah, no doubt. Again, great overview. But so again, I think there's a lot of these that could be very underestimated. The three that come to mind are obviously HvM, DexSwap, and bonds themselves. I mean, there are other protocols. Again, I'm not going to mention names because I get accused of being a fudster. But there's other protocols with literally 20 million TVL, and they're not as good bond program. And so again, I think we could easily get 10, 20, even maybe $50 million dollars into bonds. And we can handle that. Again, I mean, all this is done through smart contracts. So we're not managing funds. Everything is deployed into the vaults and are basically on autopilot, obviously with our monitoring. But so I think that's incredibly powerful. And like LA said, once the compensation fund is made whole, which is something amazing in and of itself, even with an exploit, to be able to make everybody whole, that is an extreme rarity in crypto, especially without the big backing of VCs or, giant exchanges that we don't have. So 30% of the yield goes to split between GDEX, which has also been on the rise, which is the DexFi governance token, essentially a tokenized version of Fusion, but we do it a little different, and the other 50% goes to Fusion. So APRs could be dramatically higher on that as well. And last but not least, you mentioned eSHARE, LA. So we're a little bit pretty far into the AMA, and I'm not going to drop too much alpha, but one of the title segments on here is always building. So we have some really cool things coming up for the ecosystem that may or may not support eSHARE. So again, do with that information what you will, but things are going to be really starting to heat up as we get into the bull run. And I've mentioned it a few times that we had, a couple of secret projects that we really haven't even talked about, and that is one of them. So again, keep an eye out, and we'll give everybody plenty of heads up on that. But it's going to be good for the whole ecosystem. So all right, and again, the private investments as well. We have one that's coming to TGE this month. It was a AI play. Another one, a lot of you may have heard me mention it in previous AMAs. It's another AI play called Overlay, but it's actually in the Web 2 world, protecting copyright on famous photographers. And again, to drop a little more alpha, I know that the CEO just met with Adobe this week. So that is huge. I think if that comes to fruition, that could be another great boost to our treasury with all the VC endeavors. So yeah, everything's looking really, really good. Again, it's not a get rich overnight, and a lot of these are going to take time to get to. but we have so much lined up that again, it's inevitable that revenue increases over time. So, all right, awesome. I think that was it.
Yes, for sure. Amazing.
All right. What's up next?
Power ups.
All right, so yeah, I know we had a few reports. We did have an issue with the power up contract. So those that maybe in power ups have maybe had some. It looks like their rewards are gone on the dashboard. We're working on that now. I'll send an update when we have it fixed. And I sent out the next payment today actually. So once that contract is working again, I think, and it may even be a UI issue. Honestly, we've been so busy, I haven't even checked in with the devs on it yet. But it's still working. It's there. And LA, I know the other confusion was we've moved to a monthly payment as well. So just remember that. Is it it's the 12th or the 13th of every month?
Yeah.
Okay, so today, yeah. So yeah, I sent it out a little bit earlier. So yeah, I mean, nothing. Power ups are still working and good. It's just a short term problem, and I think a lot of you opened a ticket on Discord. Anyway, so I'll be going through those and making sure everybody's good to go. But yeah.
And the important thing to note is that your rewards aren't gone. They're just not showing on the UI right now. And both AJ and I have been discussing it with the devs, so we'll get it cleared up as soon as possible.
Perfect. All right. Awesome. All right. I know I'm trying to go a little bit fast. Because like you said, LA, we have a epic premiere coming up in about half an hour. So our first gameplay footage of Universe Madness, the entire gameplay loop. It's about 30 minutes of the game from beginning to end. So yeah. So all right. So
awesome. You don't mind pulling up Fusion Watch. I just wanted to remind everyone of the eSHARE prediction competition.
Yes.
So literally, there is a huge prize pool building up now. I think it's around like $353. So I just wanted to remind you all that it literally only costs $2 to submit a prediction, which is your ticket to possibly win that prize pool. 50% of all the funds that come in for that are used to buy and burn eSHARE, and then 50% goes to the prize pool. It's like a 50-50 ticket at a baseball game. But if no one guesses correctly at the end of the week, that prize pool continues to build up. And what's happened over the last few weeks is no one's guessed. And so it's starting to get really big. And so to put in $2 to potentially win close to $400 is a pretty good gamble in my books. But it also helps to support the ecosystem and boost Fusion rewards when we are able to help increase that price of eSHARE. So it's a really fun competition to be involved in.
Yeah, let me pull it up, LA. For some reason, my Fusion Watch tab is gone. Give me 1 second here. Never fails, right? But yeah, I have 1,000 tabs, as everybody knows. That's how you know you're in crypto, when you can't even find the tabs that you have. So give me 1 more second and I'll pull it up.
You do have more tabs than I've ever seen anyone have before.
Yeah. Well, the reason I do it for twofold, this is a good segue while I pull this up. I do it mostly because of security. I mean, there's been so many phishing links going around that once I know it's the legit website, I don't even try to find it again or bookmark it. I just leave it open so I know that that is the legitimate website. And just on the crypto journey, you got to check in to everything. I mean, we say it all the time, invest in your investment. So anything we're involved in, I have to check every day. And rather than writing down a to-do list, I just leave all the tabs open and go through them. So there you go. That's a little bit into the AJ psychology. All right, let me pull it up. I got it here. Bear with me. All right, here we go. Holy cow. So yeah, here it is. Pulse prediction. Again, LA did a great job with the overview, but you can see the prize pool's been growing and growing, and you pick the way to play is you copy this address right here. If you click on it, it will automatically copy. You go over here. You send. So after you click that address, you send $2 or any increment of $2 if you want more than one entry, and then you will paste the transaction hash. Again, you find that in MetaMask or Rabby. Don't paste the whole website, just paste the actual hash, and then pick your prediction. So it has to be within 2 decimals, and you could win. So yeah, this will always grow. We the rollovers every Thursday, and you have a whole nother week to try and win. So yeah, have fun. So there you go. All right. What is
Awesome.
up next?
I believe you were going to go for Venom next.
Yeah, so let's talk about this for sure. Hang on. All right. I'm going to try to do a screen. I guess I can do that. Hang on. This is easier. Hang on 1 second. All right, so this is an opportunity that we currently is open to VIPs and the EMP Investment DAO. If you want to get involved in those, just send me a DM. But this is really cool. It's a one of our long-term community members, Amorphit. I can't really say it wrong. But
Ephemeron.
Ephemeron. Thank you, LA. Jeez, Lou. So and he is starting his own project, which again we love seeing this. We also had Bert and Ernie token launched from another VIP member. So this is the second one now. And their whole economic system really is benefiting EMP. So like we've said many times, and kind of along the lines of what I brought up earlier with Elephant, it's about creating a flywheel of your own that not only supports your individual ecosystem, but then also helps support EMP. So the long story short is there's a new opportunity of minting NFTs. Part of those NFTs go into bonds, and then the yield from those bonds will support their ecosystem. But because again we're getting 30% of all bond yield, it also benefits us. So it's really cool. I love the initiative. Ephemeron's been killing it. Like I said, I'll show the exact offer publicly in a couple of days. We just want to make sure VIP and the DAO has the first chance. It is on Avalanche as well, which is a whole nother chain that we don't have exposure to. So that's cool. And it's just about branching out into new opportunities that benefit EMP as well. So you can tag him in any of our socials if you want to learn more, or reach out to me and I'll forward the info as well. And then we'll talk about it more publicly on the next few AMAs after that. So yeah, exciting stuff, LA. We love builders that are supporting us and them.
Absolutely, we do.
Awesome. All right. What's up next?
Let's dive into some questions next. Before we do that, I do want to just remind everyone that next week on the 21st, we are taking a 1 week break from our AMAs, both our EMP and HvM AMAs. AJ and I both have some family stuff going on, so we are going to take a little break, but we will be back the following Thursday. And of course, we'll be giving updates through our Telegram and Discord groups throughout the week. And if you did open a ticket, if you're experiencing any of those issues with power ups, etc., we will be around all week to deal with those.
Perfect. Yeah. Again, we've been burning the candle at both ends. I know I was even late today for the AMA, so we just have so much going on in the background. And I don't know, we'll probably get into more questions, but we're also buttoning up some UI issues on DexSwap and SparkSwap. So all that the devs are now having time for, and all of our white labels are now out. We have another one that released today. I'm not sure if that one's going to be public, but if it is, I'll share it on the next AMA in 2 weeks. So yeah, we are still working forward on all that to get TVL, and any of the loose ends that you've asked about, just know that it is on the list for sure.
Amazing. So I'm going to hop into the Discord questions. There was only 2 for this week. The first one, I do honestly feel like we completely answered it when we went over all the revenue streams, and then you mentioned the split between GDEX and Fusion with the bonds and all of that. So I'm not going to read that one because it's extremely long and very specific. And I do feel like we already answered it. The second one I will ask you right now. With all the legacy contract migrations behind us, I have small bits of microgrids in more than one address. Is our only option to sell our microgrid to ourselves, or will there be another option?
Yeah, as of right now, unfortunately, the only way to do it is to buy it from yourself. If you have been compromised or hacked, and you no longer have access to that original wallet, there is a very it doesn't work all the time, but there's a slight workaround. So open a ticket on Discord, and I can try to walk you through it. But overall, the answer is no. I mean, the only way to do it is to buy it from yourself. And honestly, with the floor price being so low right now, and you can just list slightly above floor, and you don't really have any risk of getting sniped. And yeah, I mean, you get the money right back. So you do have to have eShare, but then it goes to the new wallet. So you're not really losing anything except a real small marketplace fee to do that. So yeah, that is the plan. And again, possibly in the future we may have a way to transfer, but honestly, it's not high on the priority list, and there is a way to do it now anyway. So what we would do really doesn't change that, because you would still get hit with the marketplace fee, even if it was just transferring, directly. So.
Awesome. I do want to mention this comment that Grover wrote. He said there's no limit on the number of entries. He's referring to the eShare competition. One $2 ticket per entry. A pro tip from Grover, take out a range. Example, 650 to 655 in 5 entries for $10 with a chance to win $353. There's
I
his
love
little
it.
pro tip for us.
Yeah, Grover dropping the alpha. I love it, bro. Yeah, 100%. So yeah, that definitely helps your odds for sure. And it is a T-Bop time weighted average price. So that you can't manipulate the market too bad on your own. So just remember that for sure.
And then Hot Llama says, wondering if I missed an update on the USDT Cashout Battery being fixed.
Yeah, Hot Llama. So we pretty much moved through all that 2 weeks ago. Everything is there. You got credit in M Energy, $10 in M Energy to everybody that filled out the form and was eligible. All you have to do is rebuy the USDT battery with that $10 of M Energy. And if you for whatever reason didn't get it, I mean, again, we've had a few people open tickets. But then we've confirmed that they did in fact get it. So yeah, everybody should have gotten it. If you're still having an issue, then open a ticket on Discord.
Amazing. So I think that's all the questions. I did want to remind everyone, even though we've already mentioned it, at 8 p.m., which is in 12 minutes from now, we are having an epic premiere. The link is posted in literally all of our socials. We will be premiering the entire gameplay footage loop. It's different from what we've shown in previous weeks because it has all of the accurate sounds and effects. I think AJ, you'll probably expand on what I'm saying here, but it's
Yeah, I
gonna
love
be
it.
exciting.
Yeah, LA, go for it. No, LA's killing it. She's not a gamer, but we're gonna make her a gamer, that's for sure. So yeah, 100%. We've been teasing some gameplay footage on some of the AMAs. We've obviously showed the Deadly Duel. We've showed the executions, but we've never showed the entire gameplay loop all in one. So tonight is the official playable alpha release. Obviously, you guys can't play it yet. We're working on that for the end of the year, but you'll be able to see how the game finally came together and the different mechanisms that are there. So the full release will be a little more in depth. Obviously, you build your own deck. Once you have the pack sale, you'll be able to pick different cards. For the playable alpha, you get a set card deck and just play. But yeah, it's pretty spectacular. There's intros and background music and all professional audio, sound effects, and then the duel and what everybody's favorite, the finishing moves that kill your opponent at the very end. So definitely come over and watch it. Please share it as well. I don't know any other Web3 game that has built a full AAA quality game in less than a year. So hats off to the team. Again, we hired a real live professional game studio to build this, and they absolutely killed it. So please, please, please show some support and join us in 10 minutes. So, all right, Ellie, we gotta go. We gotta go over there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and then stay tuned for the follow-up AMA after the premiere. And yeah, LA, I don't know, before we jump off, maybe post the link as well. It'll be in the chat. So, but
Yeah,
all right.
it's on Twitter, and it is literally in every single one of our Telegram and Discord groups as well, right at the
Right,
bottom.
perfect.
I reposted it to all of our groups earlier, but I will also post it right here, right now. But I think the chat closes once we get off.
Oh yeah, once we get off, yeah, you'll be able to see it in the live version. But all right, awesome. Well, that being said, any final words, LA? It's happening. So that's all I gotta say, right? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, just thank you guys for being here. We will be back for our next live AMA on the 28th, but of course, join us tonight for not only the HvM Premiere, but also the AMA at 8:30.
Awesome. There you have it, everyone. So, great to have you. Appreciate you all being here. Like LA said, we usually come to you every Thursday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern. We're skipping next Thursday, so it'll be the Thursday after that. If there's any questions that we didn't get to or you didn't feel were answered appropriately, please let us know in our socials on Discord or Telegram, and we'll answer them on the 28th. And please help us get over the 3,000 sub mark. We're almost there again, and that will help going into the future of the bull run. So like, comment, and subscribe. All right, good night, good day. Much love to all of you. We'll see you in 2 weeks. Bye-bye.